Yeah, come on, guys. Go, go. And now we're into our final quarter. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Gotcha. Brought to you by.
What a poo!
Shout out the CEO and Adam.
Yeah, shout out, lads. Love you, and love your work. So let's crack into it, man. We've just come hot off the draft, hot off the press. Um, Already I'm starting to think about next year's investments with the role player draft, but I'm thinking their teams aren't going to be overly cheap because it's almost like every player was exactly the same from the draft. But looking at what's coming up now, you gave me an interesting one today, and I've been thinking about it for a while because I've been waiting for them to come out.
Mosaic. I'm really keen on when Mosaic's going to come out. Probably one of the more favorite short printed cards out there. The stained glass. It's a nice case hit to get. But really keen on that card set. I haven't been terribly enthused with contenders and optic. So to
Yeah.
be honest, Jimmy, I don't think I've been in a single break for any of those yet. Have you? How have you got on?
Yeah, so I bought into a few breaks with the optic, and yeah, it almost feels like it's Don Russ shiny with an O on it, and that's pretty much how it looks. Um, and each card that I've got through, I'm just like nothing's really inspiring me. The Panini Contenders probably a slight upgrade on the optics in terms of like how they look, just because it's the variety. And I got a couple Tyrese Halliburtons from the Pacers. Very happy with that. Shout out Waterpool for hooking us up with that, lads. I was real stoked. But in looking at a few of the other cards, yeah, it's just almost like someone's like given up at Panini, and they go, we just won't put any effort into this card, or we'll put it, we'll just put a little bit of gloss on it, and it's just nothing great.
Oh, it's just a classic case of um, shut up and take my money. I think if the people are out there buying the cards, buying the sets, buying the hobby boxes, the blasters, whatever, Panini's going to continue to put them out. So, there are a lot of collectors out there that I think probably the one thing that Optic has that is coveted is the quote unquote rated rookie.
Yeah.
If you get a nice variation numbered, foil, or in the good old days, what we would call a shiny card, that's a bit of money to be had there. If you get the right rookie and they end up being something, get them graded and you're away laughing. But yeah, otherwise they don't tickle my fancy. I'm still really hot on Obsidian. Haven't seen many of those breaks come up recently, but I did end up um, getting quite cheap actually. Um, a a Josh Green Mavs auto now that he's going to be a Hornet for $5 on eBay. Americans, so I was pretty chuffed with that. I'm such a big fan of the Obsidian cards, so that's basically just
Yeah.
what I've been looking at, and of course getting Mosaic when they come out. I'm really hot on that. But Jimmy, any PSA graded cards that have tickled your fancy lately? Have you
Oh,
dipped your toes into that scene yet? We've talked on it
yeah.
before how difficult actually it is to get, well, how expensive it is to get your own cards graded to start with. But in little wee New Zealand down under, it's not the cheapest place to get cards shipped to. So that's another challenge that we face.
Yeah, so it almost costs as much as the grading process itself to get postage.
Yeah.
So that could be something to be looked at in the future from the World Postal Standards. But I did get a PSA 9 Kobe White rookies one the other day. I've been looking at it
Court
for
Kings.
ages. Yeah, Court Kings. I've been looking at it for ages, and I was like, I'm quite big on Kobe White. I think there that what he showed last year, I'm really excited about what he can do and how much he can grow. And so I looked at it, and I finally finally went for it, and I got my PSA 9. I've wet my whistle and got my first PSA graded card. So I have broken the duck, so to speak.
Love it.
But yeah, and I think I've been looking at a couple other cards. Like I saw one. I think you sent me the video about a PSA 1 of Wemby.
Yes.
I thought that was hilarious. Like, see, did your crappiest card, get it graded really low, and then sell it for really high. And good on the dude that did it.
Well, the guy had a really good point. He said, how many PSA 8, 9, 10 cards are there of Wemby? You know, there's heaps of them. How many Prism PSA graded 1 Wemby cards are there? And, you know, the reason it was graded 1, nothing to do with corners or anything like that. It was just so badly off center. It was actually quite laughable how poorly it was printed. You know, there mustn't be very much quality control. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I just love the fact that he got it graded, and it came out as a 1, and I think it's SCG, so it looks really nice with, you know, obviously the Spurs uniform and then the black and white SCG grade. I just thought that was really cool. I thought that's
Yeah,
like a really neat thing to do. Like it's you know, clever, outside the box thinking.
yeah, and it's those sort of ones that make the big money at the end, and it could end up being their, a very, very big collector's item in years to come. Would it be that's the only PSA 1 graded on the market that's got no defects other than poor centering. So yeah, I thought very, very cool. Like you, on the mosaic, I am really excited about the stained glass. I have hit a stained glass before. All through American football, I just randomly bought in, and I got the Seahawks because they were really cheap, and I got like a mean as stained glass card, and I ended up selling it for. I think I
Jackson
sold it
Smith
for
and Jigba, I believe.
yeah, that was the one, and I think it was $8 spot or something, and I ended up selling it for $130, so I made more than my money back, and that was ungraded, so if it was graded, I probably would have made a lot more out of it, um, but yeah, very cool, and they look really neat in hand, like, very, very cool when you pick it up and have a look, and it's a really cool variant. Yeah, big on that.
Yeah, there are some really nice parallels and inserts in the mosaic set. So yeah, definitely keen to see what they're going to do there. But the other thing that I wanted to touch on, um, it was before you moved on, and then I was going to say something that related back to the grading. ECG, PSA, Spurs number 1. Damn, gone. Sorry, I've just created more editing for you.
That's all right, mate. Oh man, I got a barking cough. Um, yeah, and one thing that I've noticed as well though is that there's not much obsidian there out in the market. Like I'm not seeing too much of it. It is a hot product, but I'm just not seeing too many breakers busting it out. Where there's still heaps of stock about. I'm sure it's not that
Yeah.
short a print.
Yeah, and I actually haven't seen many of the Color Blast cards as well. So that's the big case hit. I feel like
Mm.
that's what everyone goes for. But I don't think I'm yet to see one hit in a break. But I mean, maybe it's, you know, it's a card, it's a pack that only has 7 cards, so you kind of have to couple it with another set so that the people buying into it are actually coming away with something, right? Which is exactly what Waterpool have just recently done.
Yeah.
So good on them. The teaming up with Select. I do like Select. I controversially like Select more than Prism. Prism seems to be the one that everyone likes and likes to get
Oh,
graded and this that, and the next thing. I'm not a huge fan. I like Cracked Ice, but you know, a lot of different cards do a Cracked Ice version. So so it's not so much about Prism, it's just more the Cracked Ice iteration. And but yeah, I'd love to see more Obsidian out there, but I don't know, man. It's hard trying to prioritize what you want to do, because I was watching a video the other day. My mate's hard out into Pokemon cards, and I was like, oh, you know, I've got a few cards from when I was a child. I've got a shiny Charizard, the pride and joy of my collection, and I might have to put it on the Instagram page just to just to show off. It's not basketball. Maybe I'll just like sellotape a basketball like near his hand or something to make it look like it's basketball
Oh,
related.
put our logo.
Yeah, smart. And anyway, there's a few videos out there. I was like, like, what even is there in the Pokemon collecting world at the moment? And there was this guy doing a things you should know, and it was just so funny because everything about it could be tailored to each different type of card collecting hobby. And it was basically like, make sure that you've got yourself like a goal, otherwise you could just end up spending a lot of money. And I guess that's where I'm heading with this. Is there are so many sets that come out, and there's so many awesome cards that you can chase, but you really have to try and be as sensible as you can about it from a general common sense point of view. Not doing a very good sales pitch, but like, you've got to look after number one, and look after your family. So make sure you go on with a goal. So that's where I was sort of, yeah, pick a set that you're a big fan of, and chase it. It doesn't matter what it is. Hoops, Donruss. If you happen to like Donruss Elite, which I do not in the slightest, good on you. Chase them.
Yeah, well,
It's not my buzz.
just touching on that and alternative collectibles and things as well. The Auckland Card Show is coming up in New Zealand on the 27th, and I think it's the 28th of July, which it's got heaps of vendors and lots of cool stuff. There's VIP options, VIP tickets, heaps and heaps of vendors. A lot of basketball card guys are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of trading going on and a lot of activities going on. The organizers look to have done a sterling job. I'm real excited to be going up there and having a look. So shout out to you guys, and we'd like to get you on soon. So if you want to reach out to us and come on and have a chat with us on the podcast just about collecting in general, happy to have you. And
Done.
oh, another episode in the bank, mate. One thing there that we need to touch on as well, which we'll probably need to patch in at some point, is the Kiwis heading towards the NBA. And so you do have one player. I've got one that's just popped up recently. I just want to give a shout out to him. Sam Froling has signed with the NBA, or signed with the Indiana Pacers. Huzzah! I'm stoked because it's my Pacers. For the NBA Summer League. So he has been playing for the Taranaki Ears, and he's been averaging about 22 points a game, 11 rebounds per game for the Taranaki Ears. So good on you, Sam. Well done, mate. Really stoked for you to get your chance, and hopefully that you can make the most of it and make a long-term career out of it, whether it's in the Summer League or the G League. You've done well by all my accounts, mate. Well done.
Yeah, awesome. Good shout there, Jimmy. My one actually is quite a neat wee story. Also, Igodaro, excuse my pronunciation. He was drafted by the Knicks, traded to the Suns. A big man out of Marquette. He was actually repping his teammate on his jersey at the combine, and his teammate is none other than Ben Gold, one of the top, probably the best Kiwi prospect that we've had playing over in the college scene for a long time. So, plays centre, 6'11", 245 pounds, comes out of Wellington. Shout out Wellington. Playing for Marquette last year, 37 games, averaged just over 16 minutes, 5 points, 3 boards. So he's going to get an expanded role in the upcoming season. So look for those stats to jump up. So one to look out for, all those Kiwis out there wanting to follow a young fella over in the States, and to our American listeners, look out for Ben Gold at Marquette. Hopefully he can make some waves. So that's really exciting. And then lastly, completely unrelated, but one of the new guys drafted in the NBA, probably going to end up having one of the coolest nicknames, Dalton Connect for the Lakers, has chosen number 4. Connect 4. How good is that? I think that's just very appropriate.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, man. Pleasure recording with you again, Phil.
As
We're
always.
cracking through. We're getting one closer to 40 each time.
Who would have thought? Look at us. We're doing it.
Living the dream, doing the thing.
Doing the
Right.
thing. Cheer, bro.
See you all again next week.
Cheery.
Stop record. Thank you for listening to the Basketball Edition podcast. Please make sure to follow us on our socials, basketball_edition_WMSA. And if you are wanting to have a chat with us, please send us a message and we'll get back in touch with you. Make sure to follow us on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube, all good podcasting streaming channels. Thank you.